What the dog doing? I'm just waiting for Jacob to get that software. Alright, we're good?
Hey, what's up, guys? We are live.
Hey guys, what's going on? Can you grab the door?
Oh, yeah.
Forgot. I don't want to bother everyone out there. But
Did you got that case?
no, so we're getting software on that.
Oh, okay.
Because you have to get software for the screen on the side.
Yeah. That's right.
So
A lot of their stuff.
yeah. So guys, we are here. Today we're gonna be unveiling. We are getting a new case. If anyone knows our Hoplite lineup, that's kind of like our second tier, like budget build. And it was in the Fractal Design Pop Air Mini, which is an MATX build. We are swapping out cases, so we do have a build ready to go, and we want to unveil it to everyone. Right now, the case just needs software on it, because the case does have a feature. So we are just having it programmed real fast. And once that software is up and running, we're going to have the case here and we're going to unveil it for you. But it's a pretty nice case, man. I'm liking it.
It does look pretty nice.
Yeah, it is really nice. Airflow's great. So once that's ready, we're going to do that. Other than that, today we'll just be chatting, Brad and I, and then it is like an AMA type of thing for tech. So if you guys have any tech or PC questions, go ahead and ask. I have Twitch chat loaded up on my phone because I don't have the laptop today. And then Brad can actually see YouTube, Instagram, everything.
Yep.
So if you guys have any questions about tech, PCs, anything like that, go ahead. Before we went live, Brad and I were talking about Skull and Bones and just what do you guys think it's going to be like?
Yeah, the early impressions from people.
Yeah, we saw, I watched some streamers and YouTubers got invited to like test out the end game because like I don't know why I quoted end game. It was actually end game.
Yeah.
Because they even got to do the final boss of season 1 was one of the things.
Ah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, some people got invited. They were divided into groups of 3, and then one of them was a Ubisoft leader, and they just guided them through sections. And from what I've heard, it's a lot of mixed. Where I've heard everything with the ship combat is super fun, but beyond that, I've heard that it just doesn't seem like it has the longevity. Like the novelty kind of runs off on the ship combat after like if you played it for a week or to a month.
Yeah.
Professor.
Jam Jacob, what's the best case for airflow?
Torrent, hands down. Like no question.
Yep.
Torrent. Honestly though, like realistically, I think best airflow really comes down to the components you need.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you have a 4060 in your system and like a 14600K, the case we're putting in right now, that we're gonna unveil, that's perfect airflow. So I think it really depends on the components you have. So I don't think there's really, I guess it could be because you put all that in a torrent.
Yeah.
Or even like 11 has great airflow. But a lot of that is case and then fans. But I think everyone's gotten really good nowadays of what do you call it? Putting like mesh front panels on their systems. So like, that's always good to know. Everyone that seems to be a big step because for a long time everyone was still doing. You still get some of those. Excuse me. But for the most part, most of those DIY cases have been pretty good airflow. Even like the budget ones. Like I think for a while the 4000D from Corsair was like $80. Dude, that thing has great airflow for $80.
Yeah. DLow1219 just subscribed.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
3 months in advance too. Oh man.
Hell yeah, man! Thank you.
Thanks, dude.
So, but yeah, airflow. I know who. Subscribe Music destroyed Nick's audio. No, I can't hear shit, dude. To be honest.
It probably was too loud.
Yeah, the frequency. It's like a dog whistle to me.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We don't have speakers in here, so.
No, I know. But Yeah, Skull and Bones, back to that. Like, yeah, I've just heard that some of the endgame missions, like one of them was Sieges, when you take out a fort and you're being attacked by waves of ships. So it's kind of like a little horde mode. I've heard that that's like fun the first time you do it. Then after that, it's just like, okay, I've done this like 20 times. It's the same castle or fort and all that. And obviously, since it's strictly ship-based, it's not looking on exploration like Sea of Thieves or Black Flag. There's no like getting out of your ship and raiding the fort and doing like third-person like melee combat.
Which I think is a huge missed opportunity.
No, yeah, I think not having melee combat or exploration could be the downfall. It could be the make it or break it of the game. Because like even back in the day, do you remember Sid Meier's Pirates?
Yep.
Even that had it. That game was awesome. I wish they would do another Sid Meier's Pirates. Like that was really fun. And like the other comparisons I've seen like all the exploration and sailing the seas with your friends and everything. I've seen that all of that stuff, like the fun aspect stuff, Sea of Thieves does better. And then like being able to customize your ship and actually get a sense of progression, like you're actually getting stronger as you play.
Yeah.
Skull and Bones is better than Sea of Thieves because Sea of Thieves has no actual progression. It's just cosmetics.
Yep.
And so a lot of the complaints I've seen is why didn't they just take the ideas from both those games and just combine them? Like make a Sea of Thieves with progression.
Yeah.
It would have been great.
Yep. Someone asks on Instagram, do your PCs really have a lifetime warranty?
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
So essentially, yeah, like let's say you pick up your PC and 6 years down the line, your SSD takes a dump. You just email us. Actually, we have a ticketing system on the website now. You just set up a ticket, let us know, let us see the error codes. And then usually what we do is you just send the SSD back to us with the tracking number and we will just ship out a new one to you. That's pretty much how it's been. Like, same thing with graphics cards, same thing with any components.
CPUs, motherboards, if anything takes a shit, yeah, we'll take care of it, man.
So
we use good components, so we feel comfortable like warranting those because we're pretty confident that they won't fail. You know, it's one of those things where we're confident in the parts that we're using, that we don't mind, replacing it if it does actually crap out.
Yeah, nothing's worse than seeing a pre-built. I'm not throwing any SI under the bus. I'm just saying in general. Like I've walked through stores before, even before working here. Nothing's worse than seeing a pre-built that's like $1,500, and it was like an i3 with a 1650 in it, and you'd see like an MSI 1650, an i3 with the stock cooler, and then but like the motherboard would just be green PCB motherboard with like the bright like sky blue RAM slots, and then you just have RAM with no heat sinks on it, just green RAM sticks, and then the power supply, it's not even like a black powder coated power supply, it's just
the gray.
Yeah, just a gray power supply with the ketchup and mustard cables.
Yep.
And it's like, dude, if I'm spending $1,500, like, give me like Seasonic or something. Get like, yeah, a lot of people don't realize how important it is just to have, because I think a lot of people focus too much on it just being, oh, I'm getting a 4070 and an i7, and that's like all that you look at. But like if you get a really crap power supply that blows up, because power supplies do actually spark and blow up, that just killed your 4070, like done. RAM, like you'll be playing and then all of a sudden you just get crashes constantly, like, oh, mem error, mem this, mem that, and it's like, and they're overheating because they do heat up, so like you get some that don't even have heat sinks on them. And then motherboards, like they just die. Like they just straight up die. They just don't even work.
Yep.
And then when you get those cheaper motherboards where you really cut corners, there's no like error. There's no like debugging indicator or anything. Like
there's no indicator light,
that
no
can tell you
codes.
what's wrong with it. So it makes even trying to fix the situation that much harder. So that's why. Yeah, like what Brad was saying, that's why we feel confident in it, because we use all off-the-shelf parts. Something you could go into a Micro Center and just buy. So a Seasonic power supply, an MSI power supply, Asus motherboards, MSI motherboards, Kingston RAM, which if you guys don't know, Kingston bought the Fury line, which used to be HyperX, and the Fury line was great in like SSDs. You want to make sure your SSD has a RAM cache. Like it's just, yeah. So because of that, like I said, yeah, like Brad said, we feel confident that the computer is not just gonna break a year after you have it. And every once in a while we get a hiccup here and there, but like I would say the amount of tech supports we have versus the amount of PCs that we send out is such, like there's such a, like it's a percent maybe.
Yeah.
Like I would say for every 100 PCs that we ship out, I maybe get one person, and a lot of the times those issues are just, hey dude, you have your DisplayPort cable plugged into your motherboard and not your graphics card, and that's why you're getting 2 FPS in Counter-Strike. So yeah, so it's just a lot of confidence in our product.
Yeah, and on our website we tell you we tell you which motherboard we're using. We're telling you which RAM we're using. Like there's no like just generic like Z790 motherboard, or you know, we're telling you Gigabyte, we're telling you Asus.
I think the only thing our warranty doesn't cover sometimes is like if a year or two down the road comes back and someone says my LED turned off on my fans.
Yeah.
We don't always cover that because unfortunately, like we can't know what people have their fans set to, and there is a problem where if you just set your fans to like max white and max brightness, it's gonna burn.
Yeah.
It's gonna burn out. Or if there's like something that's clearly user error, like if there was a power outage and you didn't have your PC plugged into a surge protector with like an APC unit and it fries, like unfortunately there's nothing you can do with that, because that was that. Or if there are people, we have had some where we've been lenient, but then there are other times where it sucks, but like someone's like, my CPU overheated and my AIO died, and then we get the AIO back and it is like, dude, it looked like someone took their Husky and bathed it with the AIO. Like it is just caked in dust. And sometimes when we get those issues, we're kind of like, hey, you know, you gotta clean your computer. So there's some stuff where if it's like clearly like user error, and I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus, I guess this is just a PSA, like just take care of your computers. And as long as you take care of your computer, you know, clean it out once every week or two, get a surge protector. If you really want to be safe, get an APC, so that way power goes out, you still have like an hour of gameplay, so you can save it, turn it off properly, do that. As long as you do stuff like that and you don't keep your LEDs on white with max brightness, there's no issue with our warranty. Like something goes wrong, you just let us know.
Yep. He says, I'm looking to upgrade from an i5 11400F and an RTX 3050 OEM. What would be a good upgrade?
Honestly, anything at this point. Like if you're looking at anything current gen, anything will be an upgrade. I'm not saying it's a bad computer. I'm just saying there's a huge graphical jump and there's no 4050. So even if you went one step up to a 4060, like that would be a huge upgrade.
Yeah.
It really depends on what resolution you're targeting and what kind of games. That's why when anyone calls and asks, I talk to a lot of people now who just kind of saying like, hey, I have this budget and what's an upgrade for me? And it's really just the main questions I ask is like, what refresh rate are you playing? Or not refresh rate, what resolution do you want to target? What types of games do you play? Because there are some people out there that are like, hey, I just come home from work and I want to play my single player, like my Baldur's Gate, my Red Deads, and just zone out. And then we get some people who are like, I play Call of Duty, Valorant, and all that with my friends. And even if you're playing those at 1440p, it takes entirely different hardware to like run those at what they should be run at that resolution. Like you could play with a 4060 Ti and play Overwatch at 1440p, no problem. So That's the main thing. And then are you only using it for gaming, or do you stream, video edit, Photoshop, anything like that? So those are kind of the questions I ask. So if you know kind of any of those answers, what was the name again? I can't see. Fusion. So Fusion, if you know any of those, or like what resolution you're playing at, what types of games you play, and if you have a budget in mind, we could easily figure out a good upgrade.
Yeah. And then Black Ford 22 or BLK Ford 22 says, what motherboard do you guys recommend if I want strictly performance? Asus ROG Strix Z790E or the ROG Maximus Z790 Hero.
Oh my gosh, both of those are insane.
Yes.
No, are you just playing games? Like, I just want to ask. Sorry, like I said, Brad has to. I have Twitch up, but Instagram or anything like that, Brad has to translate it for me.
Yeah.
Or not translate it.
Just from a strictly performance standpoint.
Performance, your motherboard doesn't really do much when it comes to just gaming. Motherboards are mainly, they might give you more overclocking headway. But like if you're like
just Call of Duty,
just Call of Duty, if you're not overclocking your system, what CPU are you like? I mean, Call of Duty, you could probably do an i5 14600K, no issue. i7 if you want to do some extra tasks, or a Ryzen 7 7800X 3D if you're like, I just want raw gaming FPS. At that point, in all realism, we do high-end boards just because we don't know people's use case. So we'll do the Z790 chipsets, but on our mid tiers we'll do like the B760s and stuff, because like if you're not overclocking your system, and to be honest, if you're overclocking just for gaming, the performance is going to be very negligible. Like I personally, like in my build, I play 1440p. If I was going to get like a Ryzen, I would just go B650. Like I wouldn't do an X570. And if I was doing Intel, I would just go with a B760. That's me. Just because like I don't overclock. I used to overclock a lot and mess around just for fun. And I can tell you the performance I got was like 3%. 4% at most.
Yeah.
So for gaming, it's like, whoa, dude, I'm getting 100 FPS, and then look, whoa, dude, I'm getting 104 FPS. Like, okay.
Yeah.
So, in all realism, just from my experience, like if you're just gaming, you don't need like Z790 or like an X570 at all. If you want it, like if you want that extra power and you want to be able to overclock or anything like that, or if there's like a feature on it that you just like, the chipset's gonna be close to the same. Maximus are really cool boards. They're really heavy. But what was the other board? Z790E?
Yeah.
Like that'd be fine. The Maximus is just super expensive board for the... I don't know. It's hard to just not shop out of my own pocket sometimes. I just know I would never use the feature set of the Maximus for the Hero boards in any way. And even the Z790E, I was like, if I got a good deal on it, sure. But for just gaming, man, in all realism, it's not gonna like be a complete game changer what board you get. As long as you get a good one, like a Gigabyte, Asus, or MSI.
Let's see. D-Lo says, shout out to tech support. They're like no other.
Heck yeah.
D-Lo.
Just a heads up. Thank you so much. If you are on our tech support email, chances are it's like a 90% chance that it was me talking to you and like a 10% chance that it was Owen. And Owen's a great guy too. He's a little baby boy.
Yeah. Let's see. When do you think I should upgrade from a 3060? Ben asks.
Okay, so my go-to rule, again, guys, I'm just shopping. I'm doing, from my point of view, what I've done in the past. Is you have to realize that consoles, look at it from a console perspective, and that's a good way to decide when you need to upgrade. Consoles, you target 60 FPS. And we're not talking 4K because let's be real, consoles are upscaling. They're not running native 4K, but like in general, they target 60 FPS. And comparatively to a PC, like when you're looking at game settings, they run at medium settings, like just normal settings. They're not playing at high and they're not really playing at ultra. So I always want my PC to be a little bit better than what the console equivalent would be. So my upgrade plan is if I'm playing and I'm playing at ultra, or I need to lower down the high and I'm still getting like 100 plus FPS, I'm golden. Once I get to the point where I need to start shuffling stuff to medium settings, that's when I start thinking about an upgrade and I start budgeting and getting ready. So when you start having to play at medium to hit your FPS goal, that's usually when I upgrade. Then if you're hitting low settings, that's, unless you're doing competitive games and you just like playing it low, when I hit low settings, that's like code red, I need to upgrade. But yeah, if you're still playing at high settings and you're getting an FPS that you like, and that's with like DLSS turned on and all that, I think your card's still good. What up, Kev?
Hey, Nick, how's it going?
This is Kevin.
This is Kevin.
He's golden. I thought he was Nick.
Yeah. Fusion says $4,500 budget, going to be getting a 2K 34-inch ultra-wide monitor, 180 hertz. When I do upgrade my PC, I play games like 7 Days to Die, CS2, Apex Legends, Terraria, and I'm just now getting into coding.
All right. So he said ultra-wide 1440p. All right. Good thing is ultra-wide 1440p is still less pixels than 4K, so it's easier to run. $4,500 budget for 1440p is definitely gives you a lot of leeway. So I think I spec'd out my build, and my build came out to like 2,300 if I were to build everything right.
You're right on that. Do it 4090 build.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, I mean, you could get a really high-end 4080 Super, like good case, lots of RGB fans and stuff, or if you just wanted like, you know, just hardware, please, you're right on the cusp of the 4090 build.
So the questions I would ask, based on the games you're playing, if you're just mainly gaming, and you don't do a lot of productivity, like you're not streaming, you're not video editing, you're not using Photoshop, I would look at the 7800X 3D for a CPU. If you do plan on streaming in the future, if you do plan on doing any sort of workstation stuff, I would go with like an i7. In i9, a lot of games, if you watch them, after 8 cores, they're either turned off or their frequencies are like tremendously low. So for just gaming, you don't need more than 8 cores. So like an i9 or a Ryzen 9 might just be overkill. But at the same time, if you have the money and you just want one of those, I'm not gonna tell you can't. Graphics card for a $4,500 budget. Since you're going ultra wide, I mean, you could still easily get like a 4080 when that comes in.
I would say 4080 Super.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4080 Super is, or 7900X TX. And the big thing to look at there is if you want, because again, that depends on what games you're playing. If you're playing a lot of, like you said, 7 Days to Die, Counter-Strike and stuff, either way, both those cards are going to be great. If you want just raw FPS and you just want raw performance, I would look at the 7900 XTX from AMD. If you plan on playing like big AAA games and stuff and you're a fan of ray tracing is a completely subjective thing. I think we all know it tanks your FPS, but it can look pretty in the right games if it's done right. If you like ray tracing and you want to crank ray tracing up, I would go with the 4080. And you could do a 4070 Ti and get by. No problem. But with your budget and the fact that you're going ultra wide, a 4080 will just add a little bit longevity to the build, because an ultra wide monitor, because of the pixel count and because you're extending the field of view, you won't have to lower your settings from ultra to high and medium as quickly if you just go to the 4080. So that's what I would say. Motherboard, like I said, if you're going if you just want a game, I would go with the 7800X 3D, and I would just get a B650 board. There's no reason to get an X570 on a 3D chip. You can't overclock them, you don't want to overvolt them, anything like that. So a B650, absolutely all you need. CPU, I would go i7. And again, if you're not overclocking, you could go with a B760. Plan on that, but if you just want to be safe or there's a feature set you like, you could get a Z790E from Asus. But I think that would be a good build if you're just gaming too. 16 to 32 gigs. 16, I always like 8 gigs. I think is the bare minimum you need just to game. 16 is like I'm safe. I can game all I want. 32 is like if you're just gaming, that's the end of it. You can game. You can have a video and like 30 Chrome tabs opened on a separate monitor and stuff. And then 64 gigs, if you're just a gaming machine, is just...
I love refrigerators.
A flex. It's just a flex. Like, I'm going to be honest on that one.
All right, so we have a couple questions.
Sweet.
First, thanks for the follow, Falrun, on Twitch. Appreciate that. We have a question from Staltech on YouTube, if you're still there. We're getting to yours right now. And then Christos, we see that I see your question too. We'll get to that after Staltech. Staltech on YouTube says, are we going to see another GPU drought due to AI usage chip allocation?
That would not be a question for me. That would be a TJ thing. He would know all of that. I have no idea.
I've heard.
Oh, go on.
No, I've heard TJ talk about how.
I think that mainly targeted the 4090s. Because there was like a little bit of a 4090 drought.
They're slowing down production on cards, but I think with the supers, I've heard. I don't know officially, but just on the internet, I've heard that they're going to be phasing out the non-supers. So the only ones that are on the market are the supers, which makes sense.
Yeah.
And right now it is Chinese New Year. This time of year is always terrible and slow for getting anything overseas. So production pretty much stops for like 2 weeks on everything, CPUs, motherboards, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
They pretty much stop production on for a couple weeks, and then they slowly get back up.
Yeah, every once in a while you might get slowdowns on GPUs, but if you're like trying to go back to 30 series and what like that was like at launch, I don't think we'll see that again for a long time.
I think a lot of
graphics cards started putting in. Oh, I forgot what.
Low hash rate.
Yes, thank you. Graphics cards started putting that in to make it so it was a lot more useless for mining.
Yeah.
And so that's good. So yeah, I could see a drought, but whenever I say drought, I see drought on mainly like 90s and 80 cards.
Oh, hey, what's up, Fusion? You switched over to Twitch.
Oh, heck yeah.
Thank you for following, Fusion. Thank you for following. Oh, and he subbed. Thank you for the sub.
Dude, that's awesome. Thank you.
Hell yeah, dude. And then thank you, Man Bear Pig, for the follow. Hell yeah.
But yeah, I see maybe if there could be a slowdown on 90 and 80 series cards, but even as I see it and the way it's been, like your average consumer, because like don't get me wrong, everyone loves the 80 and 90 series, but realistically, it is a really small portion of gamers. Like most gamers go between for the 60s or 70s series, and those I haven't seen any slowdown on. 70 supers were a little hard to get on right when they launched because they just didn't exist for like a few days.
Yeah.
But now they're pretty easy to get a hold of, at least on our end. So
yeah, and
your average consumer card, I don't see a big drought coming.
Yeah. All right. And yeah, okay. So let's see.
And then, guys, if anyone's new to the chat, we are just waiting for a case to come in here. I said it earlier, we are actually changing the case for our hoplite model. We have a model built, and we're going to show it off. There just needs to be a piece of software downloaded for the case, which means we have to program a whole case with Windows on it and everything just to get that software downloaded. I didn't realize it would take this long. So once that is done, the case is going to be brought to us, and we're going to unveil what the new Hoplight's going to look like.
Yeah.
But it is a pretty cool case. And actually, with the fans that come on it, might have a little better airflow as well.
All right. So Kuya Crispdos on Instagram says, when should I upgrade my GPU? Y'all set me up with a 3080 EVGA Ultra, 12 gig, before the 40 series dropped. And it's been spectacular. I use it for med imaging, WoW, FH5, Starfield, with an ultra wide.
Yeah, I mean...
And then he said he's currently getting 130 FPS on Starfield, with default high ultra.
3080 is getting 130 FPS on Starfield. Did Starfield have like a major patch? Because that game was getting like
DLSS.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's like that game was getting like 50 FPS on 4090s.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I said it earlier, the upgrade thing, it's really subjective when you want to upgrade your graphics card. I think everyone has a target FPS limit in their mind. Like some people, 60 FPS is where they see perfect smoothness and it's great. Some people are higher than that. Like me, I sit somewhere between like 100 and 120. Everything over 120, I'll get the performance and like the latency out of, or the latency, like the less latency bonus out of. But like 100 to 120 is where I can't really see the difference in smoothness, especially since if you have a really good motion clarity monitor. So once I start going below 100 FPS on average, and I have to start lowering games to like medium and high settings to hit 120 FPS, that's usually when I decide like, hey, I have to start thinking about an upgrade. And that's not, I don't go out and buy one right away. That's when I start thinking about it. And then usually 6 or 7 months down the line, after throwing some cash to the side, is when I do the upgrade. But that's just my telltale sign. If you're still playing at high settings and you're still getting 130 FPS, like to me, that sounds great. Like I'd be happy. And it also depends on the game. Like,
Fusion came in with 5,000 bits. Thank you guys for all the info.
Oh,
I'll have to check out your website and build my PC. That lifetime warranty is really enticing.
Yeah, Fusion.
Oh yeah, dude. Thank you so much.
I'm usually doing a lot of calls lately. So if you ever want to like spec out a build, you can always call the store. Ask for Nick. I'll go ahead and take the call. And then we can sit down, I'll talk to you, I'll ask you some questions, and we can go over what you want. We can build like a custom PC right there for you. And then see how you like it, and once that's up, it's as easy as that. It's usually like a 20-minute phone call, just me trying to get to know you, what you want the PC for, and then going over the parts and everything like that. But I love to talk about computers, man. I love to talk and just see what people are using them for. So it's always a fun conversation if you ever want to call to look at a PC upgrade.
Sweet.
I noticed you no longer have the Gladiator on the website.
Oh, TJ answered that.
Oh yeah, he did. Oh yeah, Gladiator will be back later tonight.
Somebody asked on Instagram, is the MSI Ventus gaming trio affected by the MSI BIOS mishap? The 4070 Ti Super version.
Oh yeah. It's really hard to I don't know, because the issues I've been seeing on it is that the MSI Ventus had to do a BIOS update for it, a BIOS update, because it was like behind. It was in the worst case scenarios, it was 5% behind on performance compared to the other 4070 Ti's.
Oh wow.
Now, that's really, I don't know what to think, because like a lot of the times, depending on what coolers you go, because obviously if you have like a beefy, like tough cooler compared to like some tiny little cooler, let's just make something up. There have always been like 1 to 3% differences, just because with a better cooler, it can boost clock form. So 5% seems relatively okay, but I guess it was happening in such mass numbers that they needed to do a BIOS update. Now, as to what caused it, I haven't seen any more reports or the fixes of what they did. I haven't seen what they've done to fix it, so know it was happening, but I haven't gotten the research what was the issue.
He said he heard the gaming trio version wasn't affected, but all the others were.
Yeah, it was the Ventus. Specifically the Ventus. It was like 5% lower in performance. Again, I saw that they were the VBIOS fix. I just haven't seen, like I said, I haven't seen exactly what was causing the issue. I just know it was an issue.
Haha, your voice. What are you talking about, Reed?
I
don't know. He just said haha, your voice with a laughing emoji.
My voice?
Yeah, someone's voice. I don't know.
Probably my voice.
I don't know.
I hate the way I sound on audio, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I absolutely, like the way I come through a phone or anything, I absolutely hate it.
Everyone hates the sound of their own voice.
It doesn't sound like you.
Oh, it got really deep.
My voice did?
Someone. I don't know. Someone's voice got really deep.
It's probably me. Whenever I have a lot of phlegm in my...
Oh, he thinks it was a mic thing.
Oh, no. It's just, Or it could be me. Sometimes when I clear my throat...
It's happening
the
again.
Deeperness comes
I gotta
through.
listen to this.
Maybe.
Let's see if it's happening on... Is anybody else noticing this? Like,
Do I think DDR5, AM5 stability issues will get sorted out anytime soon? See, this is a hard question, actually, because just from building here, I don't know who to blame. I don't know if I should blame, because to be honest, it's not just AM5. We've had issues where if you get 6400 megahertz RAM on Intel, it won't operate over 6,000, and then sometimes it does. So I have no idea if it's a CPU thing, motherboard issue, or RAM issue. I don't know who's making the issues for RAM stability. But for the most part, whether it's AMD or Intel, we have found that once we go to 6,000, we haven't had issues. We've only seen issues pop up when we try going over 6,000 mega transfers a second, or if we do 4 sticks. If you do 4 sticks, for some reason, it doesn't want to use XMP. And so, again, I have no idea what will fix those stability issues. I also don't know who to blame for the issues in the first place, because everyone kind of points a finger at everyone else. It's kind of like when Asus boards were frying the 3D cache chips. AMD and like a lot of YouTubers were judging Asus for it, but then a lot of motherboard manufacturers were judging AMD for it for their CPU. It's one of those situations like that. I don't know who the target for why RAM is DDR5 is so rough right now. I'm using a tough X670E with Corsair 600 mega transfers. Now having issues with Expo. Have swapped the RAM out, but seems like it's been going on for nearly a year. Try doing a BIOS update. Go to if you literally look up your model board. So if you look up the TUF X670E plus Wi-Fi or X670E Pro Wi-Fi, whichever one you have, look it up. You should see a BIOS update. Download that onto a USB. Go into BIOS. Go to Tool. You should see like Easy Flash. You're gonna want to do that. And just plug that USB in and look for the file, do a BIOS update. Because if you actually go through, don't make sure it's not beta BIOS, but if you look through the BIOS notes over the last few updates on all motherboard brands, they have slowly added compatibility and stability for higher RAM speeds. So if you do a BIOS update, it actually could probably fix that. And then just doing your driver updates as well, like your chipset drivers and all that, that could also solve the issue. Blame AMD. Oh, that's TJ. Screw TJ. I'm not answering that. Absolutely not. Yeah, TJ.
Team Red versus Team Blue.
TJ running a Z790 Maximus Hero so we can play Crusader Kings. And then finally switch to Skull and Bones when that comes out. And then I'll have 2 games.
Hey, Robert, how's it going?
And Classic World of Warcraft, because that needs a Z790 Maximus Hero too.
Have you tried the whatever, the Bounty or whatever? Fields of Bounty or whatever the fuck it's called?
Oh, the 10.2 thing.
No, the WoW Classic where you get to like make your class or whatever.
Season of Discovery.
Season of Discovery. That's.
No.
I haven't tried that.
No, I haven't tried it. But I also, once I hopped on Final Fantasy 14, something just clicked in my head, and it's like, dude, this is something.
I might go back to WoW. I don't know.
Like, yeah.
I'm gonna try to get to.
I like WoW, and WoW, even though I've played Final Fantasy at this point longer than WoW, I still have more memories on WoW. Just with like players and stuff.
Yeah.
But Final Fantasy, I started playing in 2013, and like it was pretty rough. But then once Heaven's Ward and stuff came out, there's just something about the end game I like more. It's a lot more lax. Like I can just hop on and accomplish something, and the community's a lot better. I don't have to deal with, oh my god, you have fucking 6% less damage than this other guy. Fuck you, get out of the raid. Eat my dick. And they just kick you, and you're like oh, I'm sorry, I'm not a fucking 10.2 Beast Mastery Hunter. No offense, Brad. I'm sorry, I only have to hit, I don't hit 4 buttons and do 10 million DPS. That's how I feel.
Yeah, like that one raid we did, the pug where they kicked you out after
they
that
kicked
one
me
fire
out.
guy.
Yeah, they kicked me out, and what's funny is if you look at all the DPS were kind of even, but then there was just 4 Beast Mastery Hunters and Rep Paladins that were just at the top by an immense amount. And it's like, okay, is it because we suck, or is it because like the classes are extremely imbalanced? You're gonna kick us because of imbalanced classes?
Yeah,
and it's
that's
not
how it is, man.
It was fun when I was a kid, because when you're a little kid, it's fun to be a dick on the internet.
Yeah.
Everyone was. There's no shame in it. You're a kid. That's what you do. Now I'm too old. I just want to hop on and have fun. In Final Fantasy, I can hop on, do what I have to do, get the gear I want, and that's it. And then when I don't want to just run around killing everything in sight, I think Final Fantasy has more to offer in that aspect. There's more slice of life stuff and just chilling, and there's more social stuff.
Cool. Man Bear Pig says they released the new version yesterday. He's gonna try to flash his AMD stuff.
Yeah, just do a BIOS update.
With the new update.
Asus, their BIOS update system is so easy. You don't even have to worry about bricking your motherboard anymore, because tough boards are usually like, if it's the wrong BIOS, if you accidentally clicked on the wrong one, they just won't take it. So I wouldn't be too worried about doing the BIOS update. Just run it and you should be good.
Yeah, I remember I was always so afraid of bricking my motherboard.
Oh, I've bricked.
And then they started releasing motherboards with two BIOS versions.
Yeah.
So unless you were like really dumb, you wouldn't brick your motherboard.
No, I bricked my first board.
But
never do.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
well,
it's
I was like 16.
Scary sometimes, you know?
I don't know what scared me the most when I was a kid. Honestly, this is so irrational. I think the only thing that made me nervous when I built my first computer was thermal paste. I think that was the one thing that actually made me nervous. Like, am I using enough or too little or whatnot?
Yep, because that was always like the big... Like,
my disappointment is immeasurable.
Is immeasurable.
And my day is ruined.
And my day is not ruined. No, yeah, no, like thermal paste, they always like, you have to use the perfect amount, otherwise you're not gonna get the best cooling. And
dude,
like when I do my computers, I still do the P size.
Oh yeah. Did you see Jay, how he thermal pastes Intel chips?
No.
Dude, it was so funny. He's like, thermal paste is non-conductive, so who gives a shit? And he just caked the entire CPU and just spread it all over the socket and put it on. He's like, that's what I do. You know why? Because you can just clean it up when you're done. And he's got a point. Man. Like, you really could just cake it on and nothing would happen.
Yeah. My friend, he had those graphite pads. So instead of using thermal paste, it was just a pad.
Yeah, the pad. Well, because the pads they'll melt as they heat up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you can place them on and they kind of melt down as they heat up.
Yeah, well, because he was saying he was able to like,
and you'll he was
able to reuse it and stuff.
Yeah, because
like it
when they dry up and they're not melted, like that, you just peel them up again.
Yeah.
Those are really good.
Why is Stream Elements saying there's no giveaway? No. The link is right there. Is it?
Uh-oh. Do you have technical issues?
I don't know.
That's my favorite, dude. Just
there's no... Oh, yeah, I don't know what the... I didn't even read the chat above it. Yeah, I don't know why it's saying that. Stream Elements is dumb.
I'm trying to see where this case is at.
Yeah, seriously. It's been an hour.
But...
Are they just not bringing it up?
By the way...
Let me call Kat.
Yeah, call him. He's not going to answer. How much you want to bet? I'll bet you $10 he does not answer.
You know him better than I do, so I'm not taking any bets.
He won't, even if it was turned on, he wouldn't hear it because he has a speaker in his ear. Full volume. Talk today, man. But so everyone in chat, just while we wait, like I said, we're still waiting on this case so we can unveil it. But yeah, February is almost here. February is kind of a huge.
February is tomorrow.
That's right. Fuck. I was right. It's almost here.
Yeah, it's almost here.
But yeah, what games are you guys looking forward to in February? I actually have to pull up a list.
Yeah.
Because I know Sea of Thieves. I actually can't wait for Helldivers 2. I thought Helldivers was great.
Yeah, a lot of people are excited for Helldivers 2.
Yeah, Helldivers was so fun, and the fact that they're going from isometric to like a third person, I'm really excited for that. Let me look at February games. Oh, and we get Persona 3 remastered, which that was my first Persona game. So I am excited to go back and play that. Let me look up some more games. Game releases. Oh, and we get what? Final Fantasy VII? Again, part 2. Oh my god. There's so much stuff coming out this month. Yeah, Persona 3 Reloaded. Suicide Squad, guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not excited for Suicide Squad in any way, and I love the Rocksteady Batman games. This game, if it's like $3 on sale, might pick it up, but anything higher than that, I'm probably gonna ignore it. What else do we got here? I called earlier today and no one answered. Just wanted to know if the last piece came from my PC. Brad actually just stepped out, Icy. If you tried calling it, unfortunately, it might have just been timing where our admin was on her lunch. But if you can put your order number in chat, once Brad gets back, we can look up your order number and kind of give an estimate of when anything is, when everything's coming in.
What's the order number?
Oh, I'm waiting for the order number.
Oh.
But yeah, just send us your order number and we can see how that's going.
What's his name?
Oh, I just have his Twitch name. What are we doing?
Showing off 4070 Super. Yes. 4070
That's a lot. Look at the box difference.
Yeah. Just showing off what we got in stock.
Alright, Icy, our admin just let us know if you want to send an email, she is here now. So you can always send an email. Or you can actually send an email right now and she'll be able to answer it.
Yeah, we are having some technical difficulties with the case. I think the case is not working right.
That one isn't?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I saw
the display isn't taken. So
yeah, I saw something where it said like device not protected, but it's plugged into the
yeah. So
but if anything, we can always troubleshoot it or we can always contact them. We could still bring the case in here and just show.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, because it's just like a little LED screen, we'll get it fixed.
Yeah.
Alright guys, so I guess should I unbox these, Brad?
Yeah.
Because I kind of want to see that master.
Yeah.
Gigabyte, I've been digging their cards lately. Alright, wait, Brad. Oh, never mind, Brad. Do your thing. Alright, guys. So, Brad just came in here. I don't know. I know we had ads going, so I don't know who had ads or who didn't. While we wait for that case, we are going to show off the 4070 Ti Supers. So we're going to start with the 4070 Ti Supers and just unbox them and kind of show them off. So we're going to start with the smallest box because, like, I don't know if you guys can see, the box difference is absolute. It is crazy how tiny the tough card is compared to the MSI. I mean, MSIs are notoriously huge. And the AORs. I'm going to open up the AORs last because, to be honest, that is the one I am most excited. Gigabyte, I mean, I used to have nothing good or bad to say about Gigabyte. Like, I knew they made really good products. I just never used them. But the last, this generation of cards, I'm a really boring person. I usually just like black bricks. I don't like it looking too sci-fi. I don't like it being too colorful or having too much branding on it. And Gigabyte's kind of been hitting that mark for me this generation. Oh, it just shipped 45 minutes ago? Heck yeah, dude. No worries. You know, always worth the ask. I'm happy your PC's on its way out. Come on, I cut this. Yeah, he just got it. Oh yeah, so sorry, I'm just seeing your old messages. Yeah, I've seen that they're making a Dune. I know they made an RTS game, and apparently they're making like an MMO Dune or something like that.
Oh really?
I don't know how I feel. MMOs are one of those things that, like, even trailers for MMOs don't do it for me. I have to play it. I have to get to endgame. So it's gonna be really hard for me to judge how an MMO looks based on. Oh, I'm trying not to destroy the box. Come on, you dick. I give this thing 30 seconds before I just rip. Oh, I've already ripped it. Might as well just finish the flash. Oh my gosh, dude. They measured that. They measured it up to the millimeter to get the thing.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. So guys, I don't know which model each of these is going to go in, but here is our tough 4070 Ti Super. Honestly, alone, this heatsink looks great. I also like the tough cards. I know I've been saying a lot of Gigabyte. I also like the tough cards. I don't think anything's better or worse. It's all personal preference when it comes, for the most part, when it comes to which board partner card you want to go with. I actually like the toughs a little more than the ROG Strix because I'm just a fan of the gunmetal brick.
Yeah,
it's very boring.
Like it.
But yeah, and one good thing I think NVIDIA did a great job on with the Super. I think the 4070 Ti Super is probably my favorite Super card. And the big thing for that too is upgrading to 16 gigabytes of VRAM. I think was so smart.
Yeah.
So
Icy Buka says, I wish they made a 4090 Ti, but after speaking with you guys, the word is that they're limited, bottlenecked by the CPU.
That, yeah, I don't know. If I had to give my opinion on 90s, I think 90 cards for my use case. Remember, guys, I just game. I just go home and I want to be a lazy fuck and just play my games. And so when I do that, I don't do video editing. I don't do 3D rendering. I do none of that. So for someone like me, the 90 series cards always are what I call diminishing returns, because I also don't play at 4K. I don't play on my TV. Like if I had a 50-inch monitor, I would probably try 4K out, but 27 inches, and I've said this on stream, because of pixel density, 1440p looks the exact same as 4K at 27 inches or like 32. It's maybe a slight difference, but not much. And so NVIDIA doesn't always scale the best. And what I mean by that, where is if you look at like a 90 card, like a 4090 versus like a 4070 Ti, the gap at 4K is relatively large. But as you get down to like 1440p and 1080p, the gap actually gets smaller and smaller. because they actually bottleneck at lower resolutions. And then same thing with AMD. Like if you look at a 7900 XTX versus a 4090, sometimes 7900 XTX performs better at 1080p and 1440p to the 90, but then at 4K the 4090 destroys it. Yeah. So because I play at 1440p, like 90 cards would never do anything for me, and it's a lot of money, like $1,500 if you're lucky. $1,500. I would just build a whole computer.
Yep.
I mean, again, I don't judge anyone, dude. If like you have a huge work case, like some people need a 90 card for what they're doing. So I'm not gonna hate someone for buying one, or I'm not gonna judge someone for buying one. Like sometimes you just need that stuff. Me, I'm just stingy as fuck. I'm frugal with my money. Yeah, so that's it, guys. If you want to know anything about me, I just want to go home and play games. As long as the games go, that works.
Yep.
That works. Same with cars and stuff. I just say car go, and they say car go, and I go, sweet. That's all I care about. When I was younger, I was like an FPS whore. Like I would be like, I was actually a kid. I'd be like, dude, because like, if anyone needs to know, like I've upgraded GPUs in the past, but my first gaming PC, I thought I needed the best. I was like, I'm playing Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, and I forgot what else I was getting. So I got a 690 because I thought I needed a 90 class card. And then I remember looking at charts and I was like, damn, I could have just gotten a 680 and been fine and all that. But I used to be like an FPS nut. I'd be like, dude, what? This gets 150. This only gets 115 FPS. My card gets 125. What a piece of shit card. And I used to actually think like that. Like I cared so much. And then I have grown into like the polar opposite. I would have been like, dude, my card gets 115 FPS. That card's $500 more. And it gets like 120. Eh. So I just kind of flipped on like my value in graphics cards. That was a long tangent. Probably didn't need to go on about that too long and embarrass myself. But I did, and the job it's done now. Now I can't get this thing back in the box, dude. Come on, Asus. Oh yeah, TJ answering all the hard questions for me in chat.
No, that's me.
That's you?
Yeah, I'm out.
I take it back. TJ, come on, man. All right. I'm going to save this big box, like I said, for last, because this is the one I'm really excited for.
This white? Yes, it is.
Yeah. So I'm doing the white version now. This is the Gaming X Trio. Not that we were talking about the gaming. Oh, no, it was the Ventus we were talking about. Gaming X Trios.
Yeah, no problem, Fusion. No problem at all.
Yo, did we ever bring a trash can in here?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay. So.
Gonna throw it into the other corner.
No, there's nice foam there. Well, I threw it in your corner because I knew I would forget about it, and so if it was next to you, I knew you wouldn't forget about it. So it was my way of being responsible.
Yeah.
Or forcing me. And you just threw it in the corner I'm gonna walk past.
Yep.
Alright guys, we are going with the
I know.
MSI Ventus. Oh my god. This thing is
shit.
huge. It's crazy.
Looks
well,
nice.
One thing to look at, the reason these cards are so big is because it's kind of like a cost savings thing. You notice when if you actually open up all these cards back to back, you realize the 4090, 4080, and like 4070 Ti, they all use the same. They might have like one might have a slightly thicker like heatsink, but they all use the same housing. Mm-hmm. So this is as big as like a 4090. I mean, honestly, it's just cost effective to like, let's just put a 4070 Ti in the same case as a 4090 instead of building a whole new design for it. So still, because of that, you're going to get extra cooling on 4070 Ti's because you're getting a cooler that could cool a 4080 and stuff. But this thing is massive. I've always been a fan of the white and silver, opposed to just being white. So, damn, that's huge.
Very nice.
This is what gets me on MSI, though. I don't know if you guys can see from the side, the biggest nightmare, or if you can see from the front, this little triangle type of point. And depending on what case you have, this thing can make it or break it, whether or not, oh yeah, you can't really see it. And there's some cellophane on there. But it kind of triangles up. It's more noticeable in person than it is on camera. That 1 millimeter point will make it or break it, whether this thing will fit in a case or not. Just because of those front fans. Because like you'll take the MSI card out and you'll put like a 4070 Zotac in, fits no problem. It's that if they just shaved off that 1 millimeter, it'd be great. And don't forget MSI, you do get a mouse pad. It's a tiny little guy, but I mean, if it's like your first PC and it's a starter build, like it's a good mouse pad to get until you get a full-size mouse pad. Or if you're a wrist aimer, perfectly good size mouse pad. Damn wrist aimers.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, I'm just gonna start here. Oh. This is the one I'm excited for. Dude, this box is huge. Just for instance, like I'm 6'4", and this is like my torso.
Yeah.
But in their defense, I have a short torso. I have a really long torso and short legs. I'm not tall with long legs.
Yeah.
Dude, I know, it's so hot.
Warm in here, man.
I've been trying to play it cool. See, if Kev guy says it's hot, that means it's hot. Kev's one of those guys who he wants it 105 and humid all the time.
Yeah, I want to live in the swamps.
Wait,
and run fan boats.
Were you guys still? Are we still trying to get that software working?
No. Actually,
It's right here.
Oh, it works. Okay, sweet.
No, it doesn't work, but we'll
just show up the case. All right, we'll figure it out. It's got to be some tweak that we're just not noticing. Yo. Dude, like I said, I've been digging the gigabyte cards. I just want my black brick, man. Or some gray, some gunmetal gray from there. I kind of like this guy. Oh my god.
That's just like.
Ooh.
Look at that.
This guy is absolutely huge.
I like that. Look how nice and sleek it is.
I know. Like I said, it doesn't look like a spaceship.
It looks like a freaking Tesla car. A Tesla motor.
Yeah, dude, this thing hits, was it 1.23 gigawatts?
Yeah.
That's exactly.
Look at the texture of the fan.
I actually also like, it might be hard to see, there's some cellophane here, but they just have this big silver plaque that says Aorus. But I like it. I like just the black brick aesthetic. Like it, so if I were to get a card, I mean, we put anti-sag brackets in our PCs, especially for something this big. So it's not, if you guys order with us, I wouldn't worry too much about it. But just if you were like a DIY consumer, I would definitely pick up your own anti-sag bracket. Just because for how heavy this thing is, they only made it a 2-slot. This thing should easily have a 3-slot bracket on there.
Yeah, that thing's fucking massive.
Yeah, even like the MSI cards that are smaller than this. MSI I love because they put 3 slots on pretty much. 4070 Ti's and up, I'll get it.
Yeah.
Which is great. Yeah. Then I love, like, if you look, it's just a black square. Like I said, guys, if you're just boring like me, that black square with the silver
so
accent
nice.
is beautiful. It's sleek, man. That's what I like. It goes with anything.
Yeah.
Like, I love the ROG Strix cards too. I'm not gonna lie. The 30 series ROG Strix cards were the coolest.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh yeah, we do have.
They were really cool. But like the red and blue and stuff like that, it's like almost sometimes you have to build your PC around that.
Yeah.
Where if you have something that's just a black and silver brick, you can put it in anything and it would look great.
I fixed that RGB.
What was wrong with it?
I took the SATAs out and I put them in a different SATA chain.
I already did that too.
Yeah, I know you told me that. I just,
But
he has the magic.
this thing's actually not that heavy. So one thing I've noticed they did, I don't think it's a bad thing because it's so great. I mean, the fans are huge on this thing. One thing I will say, I don't think it's a negative, but I guess the way they make it lighter, backplate is metal. The housing on the bottom is plastic. I don't think that's a negative though, like I said. But those fans are damn near 120 mil fans.
Yeah, they are. Oh yeah, Noctua just announced their Asus for the 40
Super Noctua.
Yeah, Noctua edition.
Really?
They
Really?
saw them this morning.
Time for Nick to go
Nick's
back
like-
to Team Green.
Yeah, no, at this point in time, I think the XTX is going to get a price cut. I really do. Because like, what made the XTX so great is because it was, without ray tracing, it was the exact
I
thing
think
as the 80.
redeemed the Hydrate.
You
Oh.
can turn off the.
No, 'cause I'm going to go check it one more time before I leave. Thank you for that. I am dehydrated. Alright guys, if you're going with the black build and you want my opinion, I say the Gigabyte card. I think this thing's sleek.
That turned out better than I thought it would.
It really did. I also like those Windforce ones that we had for the, what was it, the 4070?
The lines that go around. Is that the Windforce? Or is that the Master?
Yeah, that's the...
Oh, the Master. That's the guy.
Yeah. No, the Windforce was just the black and it had like just the blue.
Yeah.
I like that, because that one, they even darkened the heatsink, like the fins. That's a wet dream of mine, is when you give me black heatsink. Oh, that's like the one thing AMD did this year with their Founders cards that I love. That's why I went with the AMD Founders card, is because it was black, and then the heatsink was black. So you didn't get that black with just all this aluminum fins.
Yep.
I want a black heatsink. That is like my thing. That's how you get my money. Black it out. Thanks for throwing in inventory. They look awesome. Yeah, like I said, we got the 70 Ti Supers in, and so we just wanted to show off the, like, we have more than this in back. These are just the models we have gotten in. So, and that's why I said, this is why I said, like, and Brad was saying earlier, we feel confident in offering, like, in a lifetime warranty, because we go with the higher end parts. Sometimes it's not more expensive, sometimes it's a little more expensive, heck, sometimes on a good deal it's less expensive, but it's just the fact that we know the computer's gonna last.
Yeah, and it gives you peace of mind too, that you're getting a good product. I mean, we build and design PCs as if we were like building it for a friend or family. So that's our mindset every time we're like choosing parts. Like, we're using parts that we would use for ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, hell, we've all bought in parts from here, actually.
Mm-hmm.
We've gone up to TG and be like, hey, I want to buy this. That's because the stuff we have here is the same stuff I would have to drive an hour for at Micro Center, to get to Micro Center.
Yeah, or the same stuff we'd buy online and have to wait a couple days.
Yeah.
You know?
So, and I'm still trying to force myself to buy that 7800X3D. I just haven't done it yet. It's crazy. I have a B650 board at home. Have not bought a new CPU yet. I'm still running a 5800X3D.
Yeah.
Love this card, man. If I didn't upgrade, I really like this card. If I didn't already upgrade my GPU, that Noctua Super would be in my pocket. The Noctua cards, I am a sucker for. All we'd have to do is be able to get black and brown 12-volt cables. Black and brown 12-volt cables would change the game.
All right. And this is the new case for the uplift.
They didn't put the back on.
Yeah.
Or the glass.
Yeah.
What? Wait. We need the glass.
Really?
Yeah, because the glass kind of shows off the mesh in the screen more. We don't need to see the cable management, because this was kind of a mock build, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, guys. Well, while Brad goes and gets the glass panel, this one we actually do want the glass because it's not your typical, like the whole side is glass. This is going to be our new hop light. Once Brad comes in too, we will get it powered on just so you guys can see. We are switching. This is the deep. We're going from the hop light was in the Fractal Design Pop Air Mini. We are switching it over to the CH360 from Deep Cool. Some of the benefits you get from that, from the upgrade: one, you get larger radiator support on top. Two, opposed to two 120 fans on the front, where it's actually going to give you two 140 fans on the front, and then as well as a 120 exhaust. So just that switch from 120s to 140s, you're going to get more airflow at lower decibels, because 140 fans do not have to spin as many times or as fast to push the same amount of air. So just even having a quieter system and you're getting the same cooling or better cooling and it's quieter, that's great. What's nice is the entire front panel has these square cutouts, and it is just straight mesh. Behind those square cutouts is straight mesh, so there is no airflow being stopped. I'll put that glass on in just a second. What else do we get? I actually kind of like how Deep Cool has that just square aesthetic. Like, that's how they've been doing everything. Now, this glass panel is what's really cool. So, I guess cosmetically, it might be a hit or miss, but there is some function to it. Well, not the glass itself, but the way they did this side panel. For one, this is the software I was trying to get ready. This case does have a built-in LED screen that will constantly measure, I believe it said it's CPU, GPU temps, and utilization.
Yep.
So I think there's a bar for utilization with a percentage meter, and then just your temperatures. So being able, like if it's on your desk, usually you keep it on the right, most people keep their PC on the right side of their desk. You can always just look over right at your LED screen. And then this way you don't have to spend like extra money to get like an LED or LCD screen liquid cooler to see temps. It's just right there in the case. So that saves you some money there. Can you pass me a power cord?
We're turning it on.
Yeah, I'm gonna show the 140 fans. Other thing that's nice, that's actually functional, is this bottom half is completely mesh. And if I take it off, you can see that mesh actually kind of goes up like right high enough to where it actually goes above the power supply shroud. And there's a good about 2-3 centimeters of space above the power supply shroud. So what that's going to do is it's actually going to make it so the graphics card itself pulls fresh air in from the side. So a lot of this is going to just be airflow to your GPU. That is incredible. I know the LandCool 3s and LandCool 2s from and even the 216s from Lee & Lee did this, and it was just a great idea. Where is this going to reach?
There could be a plug behind you.
Oh yeah, there is. Sweet. I'm gonna pray.
Thanks for the follow.
Oh,
Someone you know. Appreciate it.
there we go. That's tight. All right, guys. So we have it plugged in. We're gonna turn it on. But yeah, if anyone needs I would say super upper, not low end, but budget, lower mid tier PC. Like I wouldn't say this is a full mid tier, but I wouldn't call it low end either.
Yeah.
What these are going to come with, this is our AMD version. So the AMD versions will typically be DDR4. We are still staying with Gen 4 on that because honestly with games, DDR4 is still fine for just gaming. So the AMD version, it's a Ryzen 5 5600X that still gives you 6 cores, 12 threads, perfect for gaming. 16 or 32 gigabytes, depending on your choice, at 3600 mega transfers per second memory. And then you can go with the, 6650 XT, 4060, or the ARC variant. We're still going to offer the ARCs, right?
No, I'm not sure. I think
but
so.
that was
I
an
think
option
it is,
for
I
the
think
hot
it's an
light.
option right now.
Yeah, is the ARC A750.
Yeah.
So if anyone hasn't seen, Arc just did another driver update, which has been, again, and dude, Intel's been killing it with their driver updates. Like, their cards are great for the price. But yeah, so like I said, with a 40, if you go with the 4060 version, and a Ryzen 5, or the, still, like if you're playing 1080p AAA single player games and you're doing high settings, that's still great. And then multiplayer games like hell, like Overwatch 2, Counter-Strike, you're still gonna get super high hundreds for the FPS, maybe even low to mid 200s for the FPS on those esport titles. So let's go ahead and turn this on. There we go. I got scared for a second.
Yeah, I was like,
uh-oh. And in this case, we do make it easy for you. So this one does have the LED button we hook up right on the front. So where's purple? Because that's what I had this set to. Yeah, we'll go. No, I don't like that. Come on. There was, yeah, there we go. So as you can see, 102 140s on the front, full mesh front panel with those square cutouts, and a 120 in the back, no mesh on the back, just straight square cutouts. And then because of this, like even with my hand against it, I can feel air. Yeah, like you can feel the air coming in from the graphics card. So you get about this much space. There will be something down here, but this whole portion right here is just going right to the graphics card from the side. So temps are amazing. What took so long is, like I said, there is software that you have to download when you get this case. There is software for the LED screen. It doesn't work right out of box. You have to download that, and we were getting some issues with it, so we're gonna kind of mess around with that. This isn't taking over the Hoplite until we figure out how we get that to work, but this is gonna be our new Hoplite case. And I think it's great. Also,
yeah, Deepcool did a good job with this one.
Deepcool's been killing it, man. Their coolers have been phenomenal lately. Like, I love the Assassin 4. I love the AK620. I do want an Assassin 4.
The Assassin 4 looks nice.
Yeah,
it's probably one of my favorite coolers besides the Noctua.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It looks so nice.
Even the Corsair one looks nice. I was thinking about it. I watched a review on that new Corsair cooler. Apparently, it's like price performance, dude. It is like one of the best coolers out there for Intel.
Really?
Like, it is phenomenal.
Huh.
And even for the price, I guess the new Corsair, but where it drops is AMD. For some reason, AMD is like bottom tier. I'm cool.
Which is weird.
Yeah, I don't
very weird.
Yeah, well, it's all they design. We can go over this after the stream.
Yeah.
Because there's some details I don't need to bother the stream with on how it works. Oh, that shit looks cool as fuck. Yeah, dude. Thank you, Justin. Is it Justine? Thank you. Yeah.
I think it's Justine.
Thank you so much. Yeah, like I said, this case, for being like a lower, like mid-tier starter PC, I think this case is great. Like I said, if you're just playing 10, it's hard to even say lower mid-tier or anything, because if you're someone that's comfortable with 1080p and that's all you want, this is a beast. So, yeah, honestly, I would do the case upgrade, just get those 140 fans on the front.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, guys, we did unveil this. It is 4:30. That's usually Nick go home, take nap time. So we do have to cut the stream off.
Yep.
But thank you guys so much for talking with us. Keep an eye on the website. Eventually you will see this person up there, or this guy up there, and taking the spot of the Hoplite. If you guys have any questions, we'll do more streams. You guys can come in and just talk to me about games, talk to me about PC stuff. That's my favorite stuff to talk about. Obviously Brad's here too, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So
yep, I'm here.
He'll talk about games and all that too. And yeah, guys, streaming is just fun. So thank you so much for tuning in.
Oh yes, you do get a code. I haven't set it up. Nick, what do you want the code to be?
For what code?
For the giveaway stuff. Extra entries.
You're gonna give me this power?
Yeah.
Shit.
Make it appropriate for stream, but...
All right, let's go with Kiwi Tangerine.
Kiwi Tangerine.
Just to make it appropriate, that was the first thing that came to my head. We'll go with Kiwi
Tangerine. So I'm going to set up the code, and it'll be available for the next 2 hours. Give me like 10 minutes. Kiwi Tangerine. Kiwi Tangerine.
No, way to go. Icy's laughing at me. I'm not good on the spot, man.
Yeah. Kiwi tangerine is the weirdest fucking thing you could have thought of.
Welcome inside my head, guys.
But yeah, so kiwi tangerine will be live for the next 2 hours. Give me 10 minutes to set it up.
My defense.
And,
my mom, side story, my mom made me play a lot of Mad Libs when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And she always told me in like elementary school and stuff, like, don't call people fuckheads, don't call them assholes, just call them the first random thing that comes to your mind. So like, I didn't grow up calling people that. I would just literally think Mad Libs. So I would just use Mad Libs in that. So I'd call people like, yeah, like kiwi tangerine, that was today. But like any other day, that could have been like a random insult I called someone. You don't want to call someone a piece of shit, so you call them like an Oscar Mayer fuckhead. Like it just you just have to think of something random, man. It throws them off too, because they're like, how the fuck do I respond to that? Dude, the guy just called me Oscar Mayer.
They just called me a fucking kiwi tangerine.
Yeah, dude.
What the fuck?
That's how you hit them. That's like for basketball terms. That's like the ankle breaker. Yeah, with the ankle breaker insults, where they're just like, what do I do? Yeah, see, someone give me a thumbs up. Kiwi tangerine. Do we have the box in here?
Tangerine is spelled Tangerine.
Yep.
Cool. I'm bad at spelling, so. Kiwi tangerine. And
go
one
ahead
more
and put the
thing.
power cord inside this so I do not lose it. Now, Brett, I am going to the gym after this. Do I get another Red Bull?
No.
Sweet, sounds like a plan. I'll take another one.
All right, code is live. Kiwi tangerine, guys. Kiwi tangerine.
Heck yeah.
Code works. So, all right, we'll see you guys Friday, guys. Yeah, sure. Why not?
I can.
Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah. All right, guys. We will see you later.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys have a good one. Thank you so much for tuning in. My hat's crooked.
Hat's been crooked.
No, why didn't you say anything, dude?
Because I thought you were trying to be cool.
What?